Cheers. Ooh, that actually touched the camera.
We're gonna try a bunch of recipes from this book. Stick around to see what we think.
This is good. I like.
Because it tastes nasty.
Yeah, I like the salad.
It's fresh. It's a different kind of soup than I've ever had before. What is this soup? That's so good.
This whatever this is on top, it's phenomenal.
Oh, I like it.
It's actually pretty good.
That's really tasty.
And it smells like
Greetings and welcome to or welcome back to PB with Jay. Here on the channel, we focus on all things plant-based goodness. And in this video, we're going to be doing a bunch of recipes from Micah Siva's book, Nosh, Plant-Forward Recipes Celebrating Modern Jewish Cuisine. So a couple things to note about this book before we jump into it. My family and I are not necessarily overly familiar with Jewish cuisine. There's definitely a lot of staple things that we know about, that we've had, that are not necessarily only tied to Jewish culture. But I was really excited for this. A lot of you recommended this book, so I'm going to hand it over to my family to get them to pick recipes, and then I'll narrow them down if they pick a whole bunch. There's a couple things that I do want to flag off the top. This book does use a fair amount of oil. It is not whole food plant-based. They even have eggs in some recipes in this book. So for those of you that are looking for like a whole food plant-based Jewish cookbook, that you know what they're doing your swaps for, this probably is going to be something that you will need to put your little swap brain on. So I'm looking forward to diving into this, because it's a cuisine I'm not super duper familiar with. So if at any point in watching this you're enjoying it, you think you want to pick up this book, we have a link in the description down below. If you're curious about how we rate things and how our system works, I've got a little graphic up here that will help walk you through it so you know a little bit more. And stick around for the end of the video where I tell you whether or not I think you should buy, borrow, or bypass this book altogether. Before we jump into the recipes, I'd like to give a quick hello to some of you who've said hello to us in the comments down below. Meryl from Eugene, Oregon. Gail from Santan Valley in Arizona. Lori from Southern California. Sue from Nashville, Tennessee. 8106 Flora from Bytom, Poland. Bonnie from Nova Scotia. Catherine from Chicago. Olivia from Portland, Oregon. Lisa from Missouri. Kate from Napa Valley, California. Chops World UK from Portsmouth, England in the United Kingdom. Lisa from Idlewild, Pine Cove, California. Deborah from Las Cruces, New Mexico. And Madison from, you didn't specifically say where you were from, but I know where you're from on the internet, and that is our Mighty Network, which is a group of like-minded individuals who get early access to these videos, as well as all these other perks, the best of which is really just being part of a like-minded community. And you can get a bump up on our shadow list. You can also just get onto our shadow list by saying hello in the comments down below. But, you know, the Mighty Network has a lot of other wonderful perks that are worth checking out. And you can get them all for the price of a crappy cup of coffee a month. And now, to the recipes. For dinner tonight, I'm going to make two of the recipes from this book. The first one being the Moroccan-Spiced roasted carrot and chickpea salad. The thing I'm most excited about for this is that it's on top of arugula. Arugula is like one of my favorite greens because it's got this peppery bite to it. And I think with this kind of meal, it's going to be awesome. So she says to use 7 medium carrots cut into 1 by 1/2 inch pieces. The size of these looked like the baby carrots you get in the store. So I just got lazy and I used baby carrots. So we're going to combine those with the chickpeas. Instead of olive oil, I'm using aquafaba, and then all of these spices, and we're going to mix that around. And then it says to roast them at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. I've got a dessert you're going to see a little bit later in the oven right now, and I don't want to mix those two aromas inside the oven. So I'm going to do these in the air fryer, and I hope that's going to work out. I put it on for the same temperature, and I'm going to do it for about 20 minutes less. And I'm going to stir it up a couple times in between. After that, we're gonna add some chopped up almonds to the pan and roast that for another 3 to 5 minutes. Meanwhile, while that's happening, we're gonna combine some red onion, apple cider vinegar. She calls for date syrup. I didn't have any, so I'm using maple syrup. And a little bit of sea salt and pepper, and we're gonna mix that, let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then add a little bit more aquafaba and let it sit again. She says this is gonna almost like doing a quick pickle. It's gonna reduce the sharpness of the onion. Once the carrot and chickpea mixture is done, we're gonna add that to the red onion mixture, mix that all around. We're gonna put the arugula into a serving bowl. We're gonna put the carrot mixture on top, and she says to drizzle any excess dressing over top of the salad. She says you can top that with mint or cilantro. I didn't have mint, I got cilantro, so that's what I'm gonna use. And then she says to drizzle over some tahini and additional date or maple syrup, if you choose. What was the face you just made?
Dressing. What is that? Ugh.
Uh,
I like the carrots. Did you try carrot, any?
Yeah.
I like that.
yeah.
Nice onions. Yeah, I like the salad.
You don't like the red onions, huh?
No,
I'm on the salad. It's like a B for me.
it's a B plus.
It's fine. I like the arugula, but it's just 'cause I like the arugula.
Let me try this. It's whatever.
It's whatever.
I got B. The flavors are only okay.
Yeah.
I think they're meh. I have like a weird kind of smoky, but not really. It's okay. Carrots are good.
Salad,
Why
Annie.
do you have to film on the floor?
Because this is where you are, and I want to eat my dinner. What do you think of the salad?
It's an F.
Why?
Because it tastes nasty.
Okay. Thanks, Annie. And to go with those carrots, we're going to have Yossi's Lemony lentil soup. This is named after her cousin Yossi, who was born and raised in Israel. And every time she saw him, he would share his passion for Israel cuisine with their family. And this was the one meal he was guaranteed to serve. I like lentil soup, and I don't think I've had one that's like lemon focused. And we like lemon in this house, so why not? So again, we're going to swap out the olive oil with aquafaba, although this one doesn't really call for it other than sauteing the onion, in which case I'm just going to water saute it, or broth saute it in this case. We're going to get some onion going, and then we're going to add in a ton of garlic. She says to rinse the red lentils, and she's using jasmine rice in her recipe. I'm going to use brown rice, because that's how we roll in this house. I rinse those together so they're going in all at once, along with these spices. And then we're going to throw in the vegetable stock and bring it up to a boil, and we're going to let it cook for like 20 to 25 minutes until the lentils are yellow and broken down. She says then we can add in the lemon zest and the juice. We're going to take it immersion blender in there and blend it all up. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can transfer it into a blender of your choice. Yep. Pour it into bowls and garnish with fresh parsley. I didn't even taste this to season it at any point. I have no idea what this tastes like.
It tastes like lemons.
It's called a lemony lentil something soup.
Rice? It has rice in it?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
It'd be really nice if you had a cold. I mean, if you're looking for a very lemony soup, this is it.
Yeah. It's just lemon. It doesn't really have any other flavor.
Yeah. And there's a lot of garlic in this too, but it really balances it out. It's fresh. It's a different kind of soup than I've ever had before.
It's okay.
I don't know if I'd ever make it again. But I like it. But if someone else made it, I'd have it. So it's like a B for me.
Yeah.
Same?
Yeah.
I give it in between a B and a C.
Yeah.
Because it's a C because I wouldn't want to eat it. And I wouldn't ask you guys to make it. But I would only eat it if you guys did make it. And I would eat that much, not that much, which is not that much. And so, because it is not that good.
But it's okay?
But it's fine. I will eat it this time.
really watery.
What is this soup? It's a lemony lentil soup.
It's just really watery and really sour.
Yeah, it's a lemon soup.
Oh my god. It's an F.
Tonight for dessert, I'm going to make this pumpkin kugel with pecan streusel. I think it's pronounced kugel, could be kugel, I don't know. I've never heard that phrase before. It's Yiddish for pudding. By definition, it's a starchy, baked pudding that contains fat and typically eggs. And it's got pumpkin, which I like. It kind of makes me think it's going to be very much like a pumpkin pie. Which, you know, we look at the spices, that's what they're doing. This is really, really simple. You got to prep a 8-inch pie plate with, I just put a little bit of coconut oil. I just rubbed it around really, really thin just to keep it from sticking, hopefully. But this is really, really simple. You just whisk all of the wet ingredients together in one bowl. Then you get your topping ready, which is like the streusel. And this is a different streusel than I've made before. So it's just like a bunch of chopped up pecans with all this other stuff. Mix that all together until it's combined. And then you're gonna pour the pumpkin filling right into the pie plate. I noticed that it was not all a consistent color from the bottom, so I guess I didn't mix it up that well. So I just mixed it up a little bit more inside of the pie plate. And then I topped it with the streusel. And then I'm gonna bake it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour. It says to let it cool slightly and it will firm up while it's cooling. You can serve this with whipped cream. I'm a little bit busy tonight making a bunch of the other things that you already saw us have for dinner, so I'm not gonna do that. But I'm really looking forward to trying this. These are all flavors I like, so I can't imagine I wouldn't like this.
Good.
It is like a different texture than pumpkin pie filling though, right?
Oh, it's just thinner.
Yeah. Ooh. That little streusel on top. Yeah, if you like pumpkin pie, you will love this.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I like it. Might even be an S.
It is an S for me. Like, it's velvety. I like the texture a lot. And the spices are just kind of building. That's crazy good. That's so good. That's dangerous. If the kids don't like this, I'm okay with it.
What's this on top?
Oh, have that with it.
This is good. I like.
Yeah, what do you like about it?
Really similar to pumpkin pie. Nice pumpkin-y, but not too much pumpkin. It's whatever this is on top. It's phenomenal. Oh, I'm gonna S.
An S, wow. Yeah, it's got coconut cream in it.
It's good.
Cheers. Actually, pretty good. It's just pie filling.
Well, it's got more stuff in it.
Okay.
It's like a different texture than...
Tastes like just pie filling. Better than regular pie.
What are you going for more? Try the little streusel though. I know you don't like pecan.
Streusel?
Or the little crunchy thing on top. Just try it.
A pecan,
Yeah.
not pecan.
I think you can pronounce it either way.
I think it's an A.
Yeah?
But I like just pie filling. You should do this with apple pie. Or cherry pie.
I like to make a creamy one.
Cherry pie.
Okay.
Just the filling.
For dinner tonight, I'm gonna make what is probably one of the classic staples that I'm aware of, at least, of Jewish cuisine, which is a brisket. And this one is a savory pulled mushroom and tofu brisket, which I'm almost certain is not gonna go over well with everyone in our family, but I'd be remiss to test out a Jewish cookbook and not make the brisket. And then we're gonna serve that with another kind of classic dessert that I'm aware of to go with that. This is actually fairly simple. It's time consuming just because it's a lot of oven time. So she says to make the brisket, you take 2 forks and shred the mushrooms, the king trumpet mushrooms. I did my best. I don't know if you hold one down with 1 fork and you shred it with the other one. She didn't really explain how to use the 2 forks.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's what I did. You didn't do
I
that?
have it with my fingers.
Ooh. I mean, I don't know. Or you put them all in and you just like pull them apart, I guess. You put them all in together. That might have been quicker.
All in together.
Let me know down below how you're supposed to do that. And then you're going to pat down your tofu just to drain the excess liquid. Shred it as well. Toss those mushrooms and tofu together. And then you're going to make this little liquidy mixture. I'm swapping out the oil for aquafaba. And then you're going to drizzle it all over. And then we're going to bake that at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes in a roasting pan. And then while that is cooking in the blender, we're going to throw all of this stuff into there. I am making a couple swaps here that she does recommend. I don't want to use red wine. We don't really have it in the house. We don't drink alcohol, really. So what I've read that you can swap it with, and it will change the flavors a little bit, is you can do like an 8-to-1 ratio of vegetable broth and balsamic vinegar as one of the options I've seen. So that's what I'm going to do. Just so it's not too vinegary either, because I know Willie has some things going on where she's trying to reduce the vinegar she's consuming. And the ketchup I'm actually going to swap out with a steak sauce, which she also recommends you can do. I just know we did like a really heavy ketchup sauce recently in a video and our family didn't love it. So I'm trying to set this up for as much success as I can. Everything else is going to go in the blender. We're going to whir it up and then we're going to pour that over top of the mixture. Put it back in the oven, and it says to roast it for another 30 to 35 minutes, stirring halfway through until the mushrooms and tofu are deep brown. It says the liquid should evaporate while it roasts, making a thick sauce. It says to serve it with chopped parsley. I'm gonna roast some potatoes in the air fryer on the side and steam some broccoli. So it was still pretty saucy. Maybe it's because it wasn't spread out enough, I don't know. So we're gonna do it for another 15 minutes just to make sure it thickens up as much as possible. I know when I made a brisket in the past, I made a brisket with seitan, and it took like hours to really cook down the liquid, but no matter what the state it's in, we're gonna eat it in 15 minutes.
It be looking nasty. This be looking nasty. Ooh, potatoes.
What makes it looks bad about it? It's tofu.
Everything and mushrooms, and that sauce does not look good, and it smells like. Oh, I'm not gonna like this. Move.
It's not really my favorite flavor. I think I eat a lot of broccoli.
So it's like an F?
I guess a C. It's not like, I'm not
It's
gonna.
an F minus.
Yeah, that's a,
Get up, get up.
I don't mind it. It's just a lot like, it kind of makes me think of like baked beans, but
So our
I think it needs to be cooked down more too. I think that we didn't, it's still soupier than it should be, but we already cooked it almost twice as long as it called for. I'm gonna eat it only because I'm hungry and I don't want to waste food. But this is kind of like an F for me. Maybe a C minus. I don't like this. And I have made a brisket before that I liked. If I cooked it down a little bit more and cooked some of the sauce off, maybe a bit better, but I don't know. It does taste like baked beans, but baked beans are less vinegary than this. They're more tomato-y. It's okay. Pretty good. Yeah? I think it should be cooked down a bit more so it's more thick, the sauce. But the flavors wouldn't change that much. Okay. What do you give it?
I'll give it an A.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
What do you give it?
I gave it like a C. I didn't really love it.
Really?
It's not bad. It'll probably grow on me. For our dessert tonight, I'm going to make these Passover black and white cookies. This is definitely one of the, Jewish treats, desserts that I'm aware of, probably because of Seinfeld.
See, the key to eating a black and white cookie, Elaine, is you want to get some black and some white in each bite. Nothing mixes better than vanilla and chocolate. And yet still somehow racial harmony eludes us. If people would only look to the cookie.
The trick to these is making them in advance because they need time to rest in the fridge. So I made the batter for the cookies in the morning, and it's a nice one bowl thing. You just put everything inside and you mix it all around. This calls for arrowroot starch. I had just enough to do this, but if you're out of that, tapioca should work in a pinch if you need to swap it out. It only calls for a tablespoon of coconut oil, but I still swapped that with aquafaba just because that's how I roll. Mix that all together, and then you're gonna wrap it in plastic. I just put it in a plastic bag that we're reusing and put it in the fridge, and I'll let it sit there all day. She says you can leave it up to overnight, it's fine. And then when I popped it out, I just used our scale to measure it into 8 equal portions. It seemed to be roughly like 300 grams was the total weight of the mixture. So I did the math and it was roughly like 37.5 grams. So that's what I went for in terms of weighing cookies. Rolled them into a ball and then flattened them as best I could. And because the oven is busy with our brisket, I'm gonna put these in the air fryer. And so I'm gonna drop the time down to 325. She says to cook it in the oven at 350. And I'm gonna use the same amount of time she says, which is 11 to 13 minutes. And I wanna let those cool while I make the icing and leave it on the side. So that way, she says not to put the icing on when they're still warm because otherwise they'll run. So I wanna give them as much time as I can to cool before I put the frosting on.
Sugar in the bowl. So I'm going to add more water. If you're using date sugar, you need more water than it calls for if you're using date sugar. And as you can see, it's not going to be white. It's going to be brown and browner cookies. So there we go. A whole food plant-based frosting. It's still very sweet, but it is without the refined sugar. So that part's good. Here is the icing where I added the cocoa powder. So you can see brown and browner. Not so much black and white, but it'll be better for our bodies.
What is it?
Black and white cookie.
You made the icing with date
I suppose icing
powder.
sugar.
Icing sugar. It's good. Lemony. I really like it.
What?
I give it an A.
An egg? Cheers. Ooh, that actually touched the camera. Lemon?
Yeah.
Just like lemon? It's like
Yeah, there's lemon zest and lemon juice in it.
it's like chocolate? What
Nope.
does it say? Date?
Cocoa powder.
No, chocolate.
Yeah, it's like meant to be icing, like chocolate icing and vanilla icing. We use date
And
powder.
lemon.
Yeah.
I think sugar would have been better, but this is fine.
Yeah, well, I think it helps the flavor.
Okay.
I think it tastes good though.
Okay, it's like a B. It would be way better with icing sugar though.
I agree with you.
A B? This one. I'll choose you. It's kind of like shortbread. That's really tasty. And yeah, I mean, if you want a more traditional, go for the icing sugar. But if you want to be whole food plant-based, this works too. It's very tasty. Like for me, this is like an S. It's really good. It's really, even with the date, I like it probably even better with that kind of icing because I know it's good for me. Not good for me, but better for me. Very solid. So what were our final thoughts on Micah Siva's book? So when I handed this over to my family, I'm going to be honest, there wasn't a ton of stuff in there that they were super excited to try. And there's a lot of stuff that we had already had, like shakshuka, and there's granola in there, but she uses olive oil for it. That was the other big thing, is there was just a lot of things in here that I was nervous about trying to make gluten-free. Like there was a matzo ball recipe, but to find she just used a matzo mix, which I couldn't find a gluten-free version. I was gonna potentially order it from Amazon, but we're trying not to order from Amazon as much right now. So I didn't want to do that and just not give it a good mix. Same as even the I really wanted to make these lemony blintzes that she's got in here, but making a gluten-free crepe batter, it's basically reinventing the recipe anyway. So what's the point? So that was the biggest challenge with this book, was just my family didn't seem overly drawn to it. Despite liking some of the stuff, the recipes we tried in here went over really well. That pumpkin kugel and the black and white cookies, even though we totally remixed those things, at least the icing on top, those were really delicious. So this one's a little challenging. I didn't dive into this, I think, in the way that I typically do cookbooks, just because of a lack of enthusiasm on my family's part. So I'm going to throw that out there for all of you. My thoughts are this. If you are of the Jewish faith and you've been looking for a cookbook that will help you convert your recipes, this one's probably it. This one's probably a very strong borrow, if not a buy for you, although you still have to work out the oil issue that is prevalent throughout this entire book. If you are not of the Jewish faith and you're curious about these kind of recipes, then it's probably a borrow for you. If you have families full of picky kids that like what they like, this one's probably a bypass. It's not going to, win over new people, I don't think. But I don't know. I always just like to kind of hit the borrow thing if you're interested. I'd say pick it up, check through it, try a couple recipes. Get your kids to pick. That's what I try to do these days, is really give them the book first and say, let me know if there's anything you think that is interesting for you. But this one was a bit more challenging than I was expecting. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, I enjoyed what I enjoyed, and what was okay, it was only okay. If you are interested in picking it up, though, you can use our link in the description down below. Getting it there helps out Micah, and it helps out us as well. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button to let YouTube know to share this with other people. Obviously, subscribe for more stuff like this. And if you've got a little more time, YouTube's got a little more video. And it's right here. And it's picked specifically for you and your viewing pleasures.